Your biggest enemy is staring back at you in the mirror. It's not your circumstances, your background, or the challenges life throws your way. Nor your greatest adversary. The one thing holding you back from reaching your full potential is your weak mind. When I say weak mind, I'm not talking about intelligence or capability. I'm referring to the part of your psyche that holds you back, that whispers doubts, that convinces you to stay in your comfort zone rather than reaching for greatness. This weakness is not innate or unchangeable. It's a habit, a pattern of thinking that we have allowed to take root and flourish. Just as we can strengthen our bodies through consistent exercise, we can strengthen our minds through deliberate practice and conscious choice. The mind you have today does not have to be the mind you have tomorrow, next month, or next year. You have the power to transform your mental landscape, to turn your mind from your greatest enemy into your most powerful ally. I once knew a man named Michael. Michael had all the external markers of success, a good job, a loving family, a nice home. But inside he was suffocating. You see, Michael had always dreamed of starting his own business, of creating something that would leave a lasting impact on the world. But every time he thought about taking that leap, his mind flooded with reasons why he couldn't, shouldn't, wouldn't succeed. You are too old to start a business, his mind would whisper. You do not have enough experience, it would caution. What if you fail and lose everything, it would warn. And so year after year, Michael remained stuck. He'd go to his job, perform adequately, come home, and dream about what could be, all while his weak mind kept him firmly rooted in place. This went on for years, until one day, Michael had an epiphany. He realized that the voice in his head, the one constantly pointing out all the reasons he couldn't succeed, wasn't protecting him. It was imprisoning him. This voice, this weak mind, wasn't a reflection of reality. It was a habit, a pattern of thinking he had allowed to dominate his life. And in that moment of realization, Michael made a decision. He decided that he would no longer be a slave to his weak mind. He would challenge those thoughts, question those doubts, and push back against those fears. It was not easy. Years of mental habits do not disappear overnight, but Michael was committed. He started small. Every time his mind told him he was too old, he'd counter with examples of successful entrepreneurs who started later in life. When his mind said he didn't have enough experience, he'd remind himself that experience comes from doing, not from waiting. And when his mind painted pictures of failure and ruin, Michael would consciously redirect his thoughts to envision success and fulfillment. Slowly but surely, Michael's mental landscape began to change. The voice of doubt grew quieter while voice one of confidence, determination, and possibility grew stronger. And as his mind strengthened, so did his actions. Michael started researching his business idea in his free time. He began networking with other entrepreneurs. He took online courses to fill gaps in his knowledge. Within a year, Michael had launched his business. Was it an overnight success? No. Did he face challenges and setbacks? Absolutely. But here's the difference. Now, when obstacles arose, Michael's strengthened mind saw them as opportunities to learn and grow, not as signs to give up. When doubts crept in, he recognized them for what they were, old habits, not truths, and chose to focus on solutions instead of problems. Today, 5 years later, Michael's business is thriving. More importantly, Michael himself has been transformed. He's more confident, more resilient, more alive than he's ever been. And it all started with a decision to confront and overcome his weak mind. Michael's story is not unique. Each of us has our own version of this struggle. We all have dreams, aspirations, and potential that our weak minds try to keep us from realizing. The question is, will you, like Michael, make the decision to strengthen your mind? Will you choose to be the master of your thoughts rather than their slave? This choice to strengthen your mind is the most important choice you can make. Because here's the truth, your mind is the filter through which you experience everything in life. It determines how you perceive challenges, how you react to setbacks, how you approach opportunities. A weak mind will always find reasons why you can't, why you shouldn't, why it's better to stay where you are. A strong mind, on the other hand, will see possibilities where others see problems, will find ways to succeed where others see only obstacles. So how do we strengthen our minds? How do we transform this internal enemy into our greatest ally? It starts with awareness. You need to become conscious of your thoughts to recognize the patterns of thinking that hold you back. This is not about judging yourself or feeling bad about negative thoughts. It's about observing your mental habits with curiosity and compassion. Pay attention to your internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself when faced with a challenge? How do you react when things do not go as planned? What beliefs do you hold about your capabilities, your worthiness, your potential? These thoughts and beliefs form the foundation of your mental strength or weakness. Once you are aware of your thought patterns, the next step is to challenge them. Question the validity of your limiting beliefs. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or holding me back? Is there evidence to support this belief, or is it just a habit of thinking? What would I believe if I were confident and empowered? This process of questioning your thoughts is crucial. Your weak mind has likely been running the show for years, maybe even decades. Its patterns of thinking have become deeply ingrained to the point where you might not even recognize them as thoughts. They just feel like truth. But they're not truth. They're habits. And habits can be changed. Changing these mental habits requires consistent effort and practice. It's not enough to challenge a negative thought once and expect it to disappear. You need to repeatedly catch yourself in old patterns of thinking and consciously choose new, empowering thoughts. For example, let's say you have a habit of thinking, I'm not good enough whenever you face a new challenge. The first step is to recognize when this thought arises. The second step is to challenge it. Is it really true that you are not good enough? Based on what evidence? The third step is to replace it with a more empowering thought. I may not have all the skills yet, but I'm capable of learning and growing. This process, recognize, challenge, replace, is the foundation of mental strength training. Simple, but it's not easy. It requires vigilance. It will have to do it over and over again in all sorts of situations. But with each repetition, you are building new neural pathways. You are creating new habits of thinking. You are strengthening your mind. Another crucial aspect of mental strength is emotional management. A weak mind is at the mercy of every emotional impulse. It reacts without thinking, lashes out when angry, retreats when afraid. A strong mind, on the other hand, can experience emotions without being controlled by them. This does not mean suppressing or ignoring your emotions. Emotions are a vital part of the human experience. They provide valuable information and enrich our lives. But there's a difference between feeling an emotion and being ruled by it. Developing emotional intelligence is key to mental strength. This involves recognizing your emotions, understanding what's causing them, and choosing how to respond to them. When you are angry, for instance, a weak mind might lead you to say or do things you will later regret. A strong mind can acknowledge the anger, understand its source, and choose a response that aligns with your values and goals. This ability to manage your emotions is crucial in all areas of life. In your relationships, it allows you to communicate effectively, even in difficult conversations. In your career, it helps you stay focused and productive even under pressure. In your personal growth, it enables you to push through discomfort and fear to pursue your goals. Speaking of discomfort and fear, let's talk about the role they play in mental strength. A weak mind sees discomfort as something to be avoided at all costs. It equates comfort with happiness and safety. A strong mind, however, understands that growth and comfort cannot coexist. Every time you push yourself out of your comfort zone, you are strengthening your mind. Every time you face a fear, you are building mental resilience. This does not mean you need to constantly put yourself in extreme or dangerous situations. It means being willing to experience the discomfort that comes with growth and change. If you are afraid of public speaking, for instance, a weak mind will tell you to avoid it at all costs. A strong mind will acknowledge the fear but encourage you to start small, maybe by speaking up more in meetings, then gradually working your way up to larger presentations. Each time you face this fear, you are proving to yourself that you are capable of doing difficult things. You are strengthening your mind. This willingness to embrace discomfort is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who merely dream. It's what allows people to push through the inevitable challenges and setbacks that come with any worthwhile pursuit. Success is not about never feeling fear, doubt, or insecurity. It's about feeling these things and moving forward anyway. It's about developing the mental strength to act in spite of these feelings, rather than being paralyzed by them. Another crucial aspect of mental strength is resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and failures. A weak mind sees failure as the end, as proof that you are not good enough, as a reason to give up. A strong mind sees failure as feedback, as a lesson, as a stepping stone on the path to success. Developing resilience starts with changing your perspective on failure. Instead of seeing it as a reflection of your worth or abilities, view it as a natural part of the learning and growth process. Every successful person you admire has failed numerous times. The difference is they didn't let the failures define them or stop them. When you encounter a setback, a strong mind will ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow stronger? What do I need to do differently next time? This approach turns failures from crushing blows into valuable lessons. Resilience also involves developing a long-term perspective. A weak mind is easily discouraged by short-term setbacks because it's focused only on the immediate situation. A strong mind can maintain motivation and hope even in difficult times because it's focused on the bigger picture. This long-term thinking is crucial for achieving any significant goal. Whether you are building a business, advancing in your career, improving your health, or working on personal growth, meaningful change takes time. There will be ups and downs along the way. A strong mind understands this and does not get too high with the successes or too low with the failures. It maintains a steady course, adjusting as needed but always moving forward. Your beliefs about yourself and what's possible for you are perhaps the most significant factor in determining what you will achieve in life. A weak mind is full of limiting beliefs. I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, it's too late, I do not have what it takes. These beliefs act like invisible barriers preventing you from even trying to achieve your dreams. A strong mind, on the other hand, cultivates empowering beliefs. I'm capable of learning and growing. It's never too late to start. I have unique gifts to offer the world. These beliefs act like fuel, propelling you forward even when the path is difficult. The amazing thing about beliefs is that they tend to be self-fulfilling. If you believe you can't do something, you probably won't even try. Or if you do try, you will give up at the first sign of difficulty. If you believe you can do something, you will persist, you will seek solutions, you will keep going until you succeed. This does not mean you should adopt unrealistic or delusional beliefs. It means consciously choosing beliefs that empower you rather than limit you. It means being willing to believe in possibilities that you can't yet prove. For instance, if you have never run a marathon, it might not be realistic to believe I can easily run a marathon tomorrow. But you could choose to believe with proper training and persistence, I can work my way up to running a marathon. This belief acknowledges the reality of your current situation while also opening up possibilities for growth. Cultivating these empowering beliefs is a key part of strengthening your mind. It involves consciously challenging and replacing limiting beliefs. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't, ask yourself, what if I could? When you find yourself believing it's too late, challenge that with, what if now is the perfect time to start? Another crucial aspect of mental strength is focus. A weak mind is easily distracted. It jumps from thought to thought, from task to task, never fully engaging with anything. It's constantly reacting to external stimuli, emails, notifications, other people's demands, rather than proactively directing its attention. A strong mind, in contrast, has the ability to focus deeply. It can tune out distractions and fully engage with the task at hand. This focused attention is crucial for learning, for problem solving, for creating, for achieving any significant goal. Developing this ability to focus is more important than ever in our distraction-filled world. It involves training your mind to stay on task even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. It means learning to prioritize what's truly important rather than what's merely urgent. One powerful way to develop focus is through mindfulness practices. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to focus on your breath, noticing when your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, and gently bringing your attention back to your breath. This simple practice strengthens your attention muscle. It develops your ability to notice when you are distracted and to redirect your focus. Over time, this skill translates into all areas of your life, allowing you to stay focused on your goals and tasks even amidst distractions. Your habits, the small, often unconscious actions you repeat day after day, are both a reflection of your current mental strength and a tool for developing greater mental strength. A weak mind often leads to weak habits, procrastination, negative self-talk, avoiding challenges, seeking immediate gratification at the expense of long-term goals. These habits in turn reinforce the weak mind, creating a downward spiral. A strong mind, on the other hand, cultivates strong habits, taking consistent action towards goals, practicing self-compassion, seeking out challenges, delaying gratification for greater long-term rewards. These habits strengthen the mind further, creating an upward spiral of growth and achievement. The beauty of habits is that they operate largely on autopilot. Once a habit is established, it does not require constant willpower or decision making. This is why focusing on developing strong habits is one of the most effective ways to strengthen your mind. Start small. Choose one habit that you believe will strengthen your mind if you did it consistently. Maybe it's meditating for 5 minutes each morning. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes each day. Maybe it's exercising 3 times a week. Whatever it is, commit to doing it consistently for at least 30 days. You are not just benefiting from the habit itself. You are also proving to yourself that you have the power to change, to follow through on your commitments. This proof builds confidence and mental strength, making it easier to develop more positive habits in the future. Another crucial aspect of mental strength is the ability to delay gratification. A weak mind always seeks immediate pleasure or relief, even at the expense of long-term well-being or goal. A strong mind can forgo immediate rewards for the sake of greater future benefits. This ability to delay gratification is one of the most powerful predictors of success in life. It's what allows people to save money instead of spending it all, to eat healthily instead of food, to work on important projects instead of procrastinating. Developing this ability involves training your mind to focus on long-term consequences rather than just immediate feelings. When faced with a choice, a strong mind asks, how will I feel about this decision tomorrow, next week, next year? It considers the long-term impact rather than just the immediate gratification. This long-term thinking ties into another crucial aspect of mental strength, vision. A weak mind is focused solely on the present, reacting to whatever is happening in the moment. A strong mind has a clear vision of the future it wants to create and uses that vision to guide its decisions and actions in the present. Having a compelling vision gives you a reason to push through difficulties, to delay gratification, to keep going when things get tough. It provides direction and motivation. Without a vision, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind, to lose sight of what really matters to you. Developing a clear vision involves asking yourself some deep questions. What kind of person do you want to become? What do you want to achieve in your life? What impact do you want to have on the world? What would your ideal future look like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Take time to really think about these questions. Visualize your ideal future in vivid detail. What does it look like? How does it feel? The more clear and compelling your vision, the more it will inspire and motivate you, strengthen your mind, and take action towards your goals. Some people think that being mentally strong means never experiencing negative emotions, never having doubts, never feeling afraid. This couldn't be further from the truth. Mental strength is not about eliminating negative emotions or thoughts. It's about learning to manage them effectively. A mentally strong person is not immune to fear, doubt, or negative emotions. Instead, they develop the capacity to acknowledge these feelings without being controlled by them. They understand that emotions are transient experiences, not permanent states of being. This awareness allows them to respond to challenges with clarity and purpose, rather than reacting impulsively based on fleeting emotions. Cultivating this level of emotional intelligence is a cornerstone of mental strength. It involves developing a heightened sense of self-awareness, recognizing the triggers that spark certain emotional responses and learning to pause before acting. This pause, this moment of conscious choice, is where true mental strength shines. Consider how this plays out in daily life. When faced with criticism, a mentally strong individual does not immediately become defensive or discouraged. Instead, they take a moment to consider the feedback objectively. They ask themselves, is there truth here that I can learn from? How can I use this information to grow? This approach transforms potentially negative experiences into opportunities for personal development. The same principle applies to facing fears. Mental strength does not eliminate fear. It provides the courage to act despite it. Think of public speaking, a common fear for many. A mentally strong person might still feel nervous before giving a presentation, but they've trained their mind to focus on the value they're providing to their audience rather than on their own discomfort. They've learned to reframe their physiological response, the quickened heartbeat, the sweaty palms as signs of excitement and readiness rather than anxiety. This ability to reframe situations is a powerful tool in the mentally strong person's arsenal. It allows them to find opportunity in adversity, to see challenges as chances for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. This shift in perspective can be life-changing, turning potential setbacks into stepping stones towards success. But mental strength is not just about how we handle difficulties. It also influences how we approach success and achievement. A mentally strong person understands that success is not a destination but a journey. They do not become complacent when things are going well, nor do they rest on their laurels after achieving a goal. Instead, they continually seek new challenges, understanding that growth occurs when we push beyond our current capabilities. This mindset of continuous improvement is crucial in our rapidly changing world. Industries evolve, technologies advance, and what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. The mentally strong individual embraces this reality, viewing change not as a threat, but as an exciting opportunity to learn and adapt. They approach learning with enthusiasm and humility, recognizing that there's always more to discover, always ways to improve. This attitude keeps them relevant and resilient in the face of change. While others might feel overwhelmed or left behind new developments, the mentally eager leans in eager to expand their knowledge and skills. Another key aspect of mental strength is the ability to maintain balance in life. It's easy to become consumed by work or a particular goal, neglecting other important areas of life. The mentally strong individual understands the importance of holistic well-being. They strive for achievement, but not at the cost of their health, relationships, or personal fulfillment. This balance requires setting boundaries, another hallmark of mental strength. It means knowing when to say no, even to good opportunities, in order to say yes to what's truly important. It involves making tough choices about how to allocate time and energy, always with an eye toward long-term well-being rather than short-term gratification. Mental strength also manifests in how we treat ourselves. The inner dialogue of a mentally strong person is characterized by self-compassion rather than harsh self-criticism. They understand that mistakes and failures are part of the human experience and opportunities for growth. Instead of berating themselves for shortcomings, they ask, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? This self-compassion extends to self-care. Mentally strong individuals prioritize their physical and mental health, recognizing that their mind functions best when their body is well cared for. They make time for rest, for activities that bring joy and relaxation, understanding that these aren't indulgences, but necessities for sustained high performance and well-being. In relationships, mental strength enables deeper, more meaningful connections. The mentally strong person brings emotional stability and maturity to interactions. They're able to communicate clearly and assertively, express their needs without aggression or passive aggressiveness, and listen with genuine empathy to others. They do not rely on others for their sense of self-worth, yet they value and nurture their relationships. This strength allows them to maintain healthy boundaries in relationships. They can say no without guilt, disagree without being disagreeable, and stand firm in their values without imposing them on others. They're able to navigate conflicts with grace, seeking understanding and resolution rather than victory at all costs. Mental strength also influences how we perceive and interact with the world around us. A mentally strong person tends to have a growth mindset, believing that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. This outlook makes them more resilient in the face of challenges and more likely to persevere when things get tough. They're also more likely to take responsibility for their lives rather than blaming external circumstances for their situations. While they acknowledge that many factors influence outcomes, they focus on what they can control. Their actions, reactions, and attitudes. This sense of personal responsibility is empowering, giving them a greater sense of control over their lives and futures. The journey to mental strength is ongoing. It's not a destination we reach and then stop. It's a continual process of growth, learning, and refinement. Each day presents to us to exercise and strengthen our minds, to challenge our limiting beliefs, to push beyond our comfort zones. Your mind is your most powerful tool. It can be your greatest ally or your most formidable enemy. The choice is yours. Every day, with every thought, every decision, every action, you are either strengthening or weakening your mind. Choose strength. Choose growth. Choose to be the master of your mind rather than its slave. It won't always be easy. There will be days when your old thought patterns seem overwhelming, when your fears and doubts loom large, but persist. Keep pushing. Keep growing. The person you become in the process of strengthening your mind is the real reward. Yes, you will likely achieve more. Yes, you will probably reach more of your goals. But more than that, you will become resilient. You will become adaptable. You will become unstoppable. You will develop a confidence that does not depend on external validation, because you will know your own strength. You will cultivate a peace that is not shaken by circumstances, because you will trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You will create a life that is not limited by fear or doubt, because you will have proven to yourself time and time again that you are capable of overcoming them. This is the power of a strong mind. This is the potential within each of you. But potential without action is merely wishful thinking. So I challenge you, start today. Start now. Catch that next negative thought and challenge it. Take one small action toward that goal you have been putting off. Face that fear you have been avoiding. It's not about making one big change. It's about making small, consistent choices that, over time, transform your mind and your life. Every time you choose courage over comfort, growth over stagnation, action over inaction, you are strengthening your mind. Your journey to mental strength is uniquely yours. Embrace it. Own it. And most importantly, start it. Because the world needs what only you can offer, the fullest, strongest, most authentic version of yourself. Your future self is waiting. The question is, are you ready to become that person? The choice, as always, is yours. Choose wisely. Choose strength. Your greatest life awaits. Thank you.